You're listening to the official podcast of Bloodstock Open Air Festival. Bloodstock Radio.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Bloodstock Radio, the official podcast of the Bloodstock Open Air Festival. This is podcast number 45, and it's another madly busy one as the Metal to the Masses finals are now in full flow. And we are again going to try to tell you all about the winners this year. We have 4 of those on the show tonight, along with an interview with Evil later in the show. But first up, it's our Metal to the Masses winners from Sheffield and Reading right here on Bloodstock Radio.
A Bloodstock Metal to the Masses tour update.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we're having a chat to the Metal to the Masses 2018 winners up in Sheffield. It's Aeonia. How are you doing, guys? Now, there are 45 of you there, I believe. You're like the So Solid crew of metal.
That's going on the CD. The So Solid crew of metal. Sold.
Yeah, so obviously, massive congratulations to you guys. Has it sunk in that you're going to play at Bloodstock?
No way.
So, first of all, obviously, the Metal to the Masses is all about emerging bands. So a lot of our listeners won't have heard of you guys. So can you give us a little bit of an overview about your band, what type of music you play, how long you've been going for, and stuff like that?
Okay, we play, I guess it'd probably be best described as operatic metal that's also progressive, symphonic. Somebody described it as op-prog. I think that might have been Tim. Described it as op-prog, so operatic, progressive, symphonic metal. We've got 2 female vocalists, Joe and myself, and we are both trained by a guy named Martin, who is an expert in Victorian opera. So we've got, obviously 2 of us, and then we've got 2 male backing vocalists as well. So it's quite an interesting, and unbalanced sound. Obviously the keyboards are quite integral to our music as well, and so we use the keys as a lead instrument quite often. So that gives it another interesting dimension. So in terms of how it came about, and then I'll stop talking and somebody else can have a go, but I like the sound of my voice, right? It kind of came out of the ashes of my old band, which was called Cathexis, and they started back in like 2006, 2007, broke up and then reformed with Carrot, guitarist, because his band had kind of died as well. So we've been kind of trundling along. We've had quite a few lineup changes and genre changes, because we used to be really sort of power metal-y, and I was playing keyboard, so it was like whatever I could do with one finger while I was still singing. And then Joe came along. Sorry, Paul, because I said that, and everybody here is trying desperately not to laugh at me. But no, we were playing actually a Metal to the Masses down in Birmingham before they had one in Sheffield, and it was like a heat on the Wednesday night, and so a load of our fans were going to have to take a half day off work and travel down for it. So as a bit of a thank you to them, we said, we'll get Mel's mate Joe in. They sing together, and we'll get her in as like a one-off, as a bit of a thank you to the fans, and do something really cool. So she came and did backing, and that lasted for about 10 seconds before everybody went, "This is amazing," with 2 female vocalists. Add her to the band, and screw the backing thing, make her lead as well. Because she's incredibly talented. So so since then just been going, and we're writing an album at the minute that sort of that utilizes the joint vocals a lot better, which you can hear in the single Violet Hours.
Okay, cool. So how many of you are there actually in the band at the moment?
7.
7, okay. Did am I right in saying that it was Rob Bannister that judged it rather than Simon, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think he's probably going to get his hands slapped for having to give away 7 tickets and 7?
I've already got to buy 4 tickets for my kids, so I think he's going to do well out of it.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. If your friends and family all come along as well, then yeah, we'll probably do all right out of it, won't we?
You may have lost 7, but you'll be up 45.
Have any of you actually been to Bloodstock Festival before as a punter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've gone every year since 2007.
Okay, that's cool. Excellent. Well, good. So, yes, you know all about our New Blood stage, and you know the way that it all works and that lot. So, yeah, that's going to be good to be getting you guys playing there.
Definitely. Can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, wait, it's going to be amazing.
Cool. So, just rewinding back a bit to the Metal to the Masses, and you said that you've done it before, and in Birmingham, and obviously you've entered again in Sheffield this year. Did you find even when you didn't get through that you still benefited from the experience of it?
Yes, we did. And we learnt every time we went through the stages and we'd get through to the finals and then not make it through to actually get into Bloodstock. We'd learn from it, and we'd look back at ourselves and we'd say, what can we improve? What can we get better? How can we get tighter? How can we improve the stage show?
It was a massive motivation. Yeah. Every time we approached a heat or even a semi, especially the final, we all put the extra time in, put the extra effort in just to work out any kinks, anything like that.
And meeting some of the bands as well. Some of the bands that we've played with across our heats and then the semis and the quarters this year and last year as well.
There was a lot of stiff competition.
Made a lot of friends, made a lot of contacts, and that's part of I think the best part of the night is you've got 5 or 6 great bands all playing on a bill, and every Metal to the Masses gig is a good gig. Yeah. It's the best gigs you could have in a year are Metal to the Masses gigs. And that's sort of why we did it, just because it's a great night.
Yeah, everyone gets behind it. Everyone comes together and gets behind it.
Cool. Excellent. That sounds good then. So don't think that I didn't pick up on your stiff competition in the semi. You'll have to be better than that to get past me with your filth on my radio show, I'm afraid.
Yorkshire, mate.
Cool. Okay, well, great. Well, this is your opportunity to sell yourselves out to all the Bloodstock punters out there, because the idea of doing this is basically so that they get a chance to listen to you guys before the festival rather than just wandering past the New Blood tent. And to be honest, I think from what you've said, if they're hearing these incredible operatic voices coming out of the tent, then I should think you've probably gone a fair bit of attention anyway at the time. But obviously, we're going to try and get people to listen to you beforehand, mark you down on the Clash Finder before they go. So this is your final opportunity to sell yourselves before we listen to your song. So why should our punters make sure that they come and see you at the New Blood tent?
Because we're different. We're different. We're not what you expect.
I think we've got such a better live presence than we have anywhere else you'll hear on YouTube or Amazon or anywhere like that. It's
going to be an event, and it's going to be an experience.
Yeah.
We have light up corsets. Why else would you not want to come and watch?
Well, that's me coming. Cool, excellent. Well, we'll finish off with your song now. You can all relax now, and you can just count down the minutes until Bloodstock Open Air. We also do Bloodstock TV there as well, so we'll hopefully also have a chat to you there as well.
Cool.
So thanks for talking to us all tonight. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We'll play out on your song Violet Hours, so if one of you could introduce that for us, and then we'll have a listen to that.
Okay, coming up next, it is Aeonia's current single from the upcoming album, which will be entitled The Seven. This is Violet Hours.
Hey guys, this is Oliver here reporting for Metals and Masses Reading Grand Final, and what a grand final it was. 6 incredible bands, only one winner, and the winner was Negative Thought Process. And joining me this evening is bass player Carl. Good evening, mate, how are you doing?
Hiya, mate, you alright?
Yeah, I'm good. More importantly, how are you?
Totally over the moon. I'm still in a bit of shock, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, last night was clearly an emotional one for you guys. How did it feel when Simon Hall announced Negative Thought Process as the winner?
Absolutely incredible. I know it sounds really cliche to say it, but I was completely speechless. Totally lost for words. It was such a tough, heats that we've been through, and to come out with it on a space of my favourite festival, couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I'll bet. I mean, you guys were the last band performing on the night, so you had a chance to check out the other bands. What did you think and how did you feel after seeing them?
Most people would say it was, it's an advantage to see all the rest of the bands play and see how they've performed, but I wouldn't say that at all. I was watching every single band going, these guys are really good tonight, and a lot of the bands were totally on fire, giving it everything they had. I've got quite a few personal connections with some of the finalists. I used to actually be in Mercury's Well when I was 17, and I used to live with the bass player of the Freudian Session.
Oh, wow.
So
there was no hard feeling then?
Oh, absolutely none. Like, we were all sort of like hugging each other and everything, and I mean, we've all said that, we would love to like do some more shows together, and I'd happily do that within a heartbeat. Honestly, everyone was amazing that night.
That's fantastic to hear. So you've got a couple of months between now and Bloodstock. What has Negative Thought Process got lined up between now and then?
Well, almost business as normal. We've got a couple of shows coming up. We've got one in Stevenage in a couple of weeks' time, and a tiny little weekend to run 2 dates with Black Skies Burn.
All right.
Coming up in Birmingham in London, and then I think we're going to focus on writing some new material to hopefully bring out when we play the new Blood stage.
Sounds awesome.
But yeah.
So obviously you guys are going to be playing, and hopefully you'll be there the whole weekend. What bands are you looking forward to seeing the most on the Dio and Sophie stages?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's such a mixed sort of lineup. I mean, for me, I grew up like when I was younger, I was an avid thrash fan. So for me, like Onslaught and Power Trip are like the 2 main bands that I've been killing to see, and to be playing alongside them is amazing. And as for the Sophie stage, definitely interested. I definitely really want to check out Exorder. Obviously they've come back. I've never seen them, and I've always loved to. And I'd probably go for Ingested. I used to be a bit of a fanboy of them when I was about 14, and I got all their albums, sort of first edition and everything. So it'd be my 3rd time seeing them guys, so I'll be really excited to see them on a big stage.
Oh, brilliant. And then, who would you most like to see announced before the final lineup is complete?
After seeing them play Bloodstock, it might have been 2016, probably would have to be Napalm Death for me. Every time I've seen them live, they've just absolutely brought it, and for me, it's like it's watching my idols on stage, and I would kill to see them play again.
Awesome. So lastly, obviously you're going to want people checking out Negative Thought Process on the new Blood stage. How would you describe yourself in 10 words or less to give everyone listening an idea of what you guys are about?
I'd go for blast beats, noisy riffs, and really angry vocals.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we've got a track to play for you guys, so I'm going to hand over to you to introduce yourself and your track.
Hi, I'm Kyle, bass player from Negative Thought Process. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and all the other music platforms. This is our track Clandestine Cleaver off our album Methylene Butterfly, which was released in 2016. Hope you all like it.
The winning band is Negative Thought Process.
Right, this is Steve from Ash and Crane, Metal to the Masses winners 2017. Just want to say good luck to all the bands taking part this year. See you at Bloodstock, guys.
Okay, so that was Negative Thought Process, who were winners in Reading, and Aeonia, who were winners in Sheffield. Congratulations to both of them. We'll be bringing you the winners from Glasgow and Belfast later in the show. But before that, last Saturday I was up in Yorkshire at Manifest to see Eval's first gig for 14 months and the triumphant return of Ol Drake to the band. So I caught up with him and his brother Matt after the show. So let's have a listen to that after our Metal to the Masses update for this week.
Metal to the Masses update.
This is Steve Evans reporting from Metal to the Masses in Somerset, where the second semi-final has just taken place at the Cobblestones in Bridgewater. It was another really tough night's competition, but congratulations go to Sale and Napier, who now join Death by Key in next month's final. Commiserations must go to Kinesis, who also put on a top set. I absolutely can't wait for the final, which is now taking place at Bridgewater Town Hall on Saturday the 16th of June. Hope to see some of you down the front, but until then, that's it from Somerset.
Hello, it's Xander here, checking in from the Nottingham Metal to the Masses, and I'm going to update you about our first semi-final we had from Heat 1 Pemphigoid. Coming from Mansfield, they are extreme, they're heavy, kind of like a heavy Satyricon with the harsh Opeth vocals, a bit of mono-arth vocal sound in there. Very nice indeed. From Heat 3, we had Pendulums Falls, their second year in the competition, this time getting through to the semis. They are kind of tech metal music with some hard rock vocals, female vocalist. From Heat 4, we have Underdark, who are post-black metal, very nice indeed. And from Heat 5 winners, we have Lycan, also from Mansfield. Metalcore, if you like, second year doing the competition and also first time getting through to the semis. Our wildcards were from Heat 4, Entree, more black death metal from Nottingham, and Heat 7, Wolves Don't Sleep, their second year, also getting through to the semis for the second time actually. Deathcore, if you like, think As I Lay Dying meets Embure. Yeah, sounds good to me. So the runners up were Lycan, Entree and Wolves Don't Sleep, winners of the semis being Pemphigoid, Pendulums Fall and Underdark. But I do have to say, this first semi-final could have been the final in itself. All the bands were fantastic. They've all improved from their first performance, which is awesome. So our next semi-final will be Nil Desperadum, Black Hawk Down, Precibus, Downey One, Archaic, 3 Years of Winter, and I'll tell you more about them when we have that semi-final at the end of May at the Maze, £5, 7 p.m. See you there.
The big interview.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we got a chat with the guys from Evil. How are we doing, guys?
Well.
Also well. Excellent.
Wells.
We have the wonderful Drake brothers with us. So, obviously, we'll start off with the big news in the Eval camp was Matt's birthday last week. Happy birthday, Matt.
That's right, thanks very much. 37, feeling good.
Well, I say 37, you look like a young pup.
Well, I did get ID'd in Sainsbury's last week.
Really? What were you trying to buy? Lighter fluid or something?
Bottle of Kahlua.
That's not bad.
Respectable at least. Kahlua. Coffee liqueur. No. White Russians.
Oh, okay. Big Lebowski. Right. Yes, that's the way to do it. Right. The dude abides. Yep. Cool. Yeah, well, obviously, yes, the big news is that we have an old rake back on the scene, but I didn't look too rusty. That rake tonight, it looked like it was okay?
Rusty. It was very rusty.
You think?
Yeah. Don't work anymore.
Yeah.
It's a bit broken.
No, it looked all right from the crowd. How was it from on stage? Were you all right with it? You seem to be enjoying yourselves?
It's very good. Very good to be back, actually.
Yeah.
14 months since we've been on stage.
Well, 5 years.
Yeah,
you fared fair better than I did.
Yeah, but I'm just that good.
I did notice a few little glances between you and that sort of thing. It must be great having him back on stage with you, though.
It is actually. It's really good. Yeah.
I got a brother like 2 years younger. I'm actually taking him. He's not a metalhead at all, but I'm taking him to Amplify Festival this year, just to show him what a metal festival's like. And I took him to see Evil Scarecrow a few months ago, and he was like, "This is fucking great." So I was
this interview's not about you.
Oh, easy. Okay, thanks for talking to us, guys. That's all we've got time for tonight. Cool, but me and my brother are quite close, and obviously I could sort of see a few little glances over there, just a few little nods, just sort of like, yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, that's basically just saying, oh yeah, I fucked up. Oh yeah,
did you? I did too. It's something different when you've got your brother in that same situation with you. It counts for more. It's good to do.
Yeah,
it means a lot. It's really good.
Yeah. So has that been on the cards long, or is it just a kind of a
very recent development? Really,
not long
at all.
I think I can't even remember how it happened, but
I think we joked about it.
Yeah, I joked like we were talking and on the phone, and I just said like, "Oh, just get me again." Yeah, I'll join the band just as a joke.
It'll be funny, wouldn't it?
And then he rang and said, "Yeah, do you actually want it?" I was like, "All right." That was literally how
it's the most
blasé,
exciting, bland story.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it? Yeah, go on then.
Cool. So so obviously that was the only gig that you're doing this year. So you can have a bit of a rest at least now, anyway. So
no,
you look like you probably need it at the moment, to be honest.
Exercise.
Yeah.
After that, I need a lot of exercise.
No, that was really good though. I mean, you got a really good reception as well at Manifest. It was really good.
Yeah, it's cool.
Obviously reasonably local for you guys as well. So not too far away.
Absolutely. Yeah. Driving on with that.
Yeah. Cool.
So, what's the music situation then? Because you're working on the next album, the 5th album, and that. So, where we look at with it? And
it's well underway. We've been writing for quite a while now, and we've got songs done. We've got album title, track titles. We know where we're going with it. We've got a general direction.
Yeah.
I wrote a 12-minute song.
A 12-minute song.
12-minute song.
Yeah, that's not getting played on Bloodstock Radio.
Oh, are you sure?
No. Short songs, please. Every time.
Oh, I could trim it to 10.5 if you want. Maybe 10.5. Yeah.
No, well, to be honest, I'm probably going to finish this with playing Head of the Demon because it's my favourite song and that's nice and short anyway, so that's all good.
Okay. Favourite song ever or favourite email song?
Favourite song ever if you want, while I'm sitting here.
This can be your favourite.
Yeah, my favourite song ever, so yeah.
It's going alright, it's going well. It's been, with all only recently rejoining, I've been doing main songwriting duties and it's slow going.
Yeah.
To say the least.
We've kind of swapped roles. I'm Kirk Hammett now. He's Hetfield.
Yeah. Always Metallica, isn't it?
Every time.
Oh, you can't avoid.
So who are you doing the album with? You decided that yet? We don't know yet.
I'd like to go with Russ Russell again.
Yeah.
Love to.
I went to see Russ last week. He's in good form. Yeah.
Oh, he's always in good form.
He's always in good form.
Can't bring that man down.
Yeah, we did an interview with him at the end of the Eradicator album a few weeks ago, and that. So he's yeah.
One of the loveliest blokes you can hope to meet.
He is. He's in Ibiza at the moment with Evil Scarecrow. So all right for some, isn't it? Eh?
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
I imagine, Russ would be a good one to go with. He counts us to his list, I think.
Yeah. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about Bloodstock then, seeing as it is Bloodstock Radio and that sort of. Yeah. So memories of Bloodstock, the few times that you've played it, because it's a while ago now. But
if you remember the first time we played it, when we were unsigned, 2006.
Yeah.
Remember that's really tight, white, pitiful rain shirt I was wearing.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Cutting off my breathing, so it's that tight.
Yeah.
I just remember we were in the second, we were in the tent, weren't we?
Yeah. Did Metal Church just finish?
Possibly.
On the main stage, and then everyone came over to watch us.
I remember the guy who was doing the sound ran off with my guitar. Mr. James Dunkley. He liked it. My Randy Rhoads guitar ran off with it.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember, was it Bloodstock where we shared a room with Paradise Lost? Dressing room?
No. Yes.
Now you're asking.
Something like that.
I remember playing the last one, the 2012 one we played as well. I remember that being really good. We jumped.
Is that where you got bummed up?
We jumped in the Dayside stuff.
Yeah.
And that was a bit of a trial by fire, I think.
Yeah.
Because we'd only ever been used to opening that size of festival.
Yeah.
To go into a well-established band slot.
Yeah.
And go on then.
Yeah.
Good luck.
The thing is with Bloodstock is, obviously it's a British metal festival. We like the British bands on there as well, so I'm sure that you would have got a nice reception.
I think we did all right.
Yeah.
I think we did quite well. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I remember an inflatable raft going across the. Remember that? And Bloodstock. It happens every time we play. There's the Yorkshire contingent.
Yeah.
People who go.
Yeah, we had a few of them. We've had a few of them the last few years.
And we also have a very select group of fans who always chant "Shit band, no fans."
Shit
band, no fans. That's without doubt. Every time we play Bloodstock, they'll be there.
Yeah.
Remind us that we are a shit band with no fans. Every time.
Excellent.
I love them for it. It's great. Yeah. It's just a good place to be.
Yeah.
Love Bloodstock.
It's an odd one with you guys because you seem to have been around for an awfully long time, and yet you still seem like quite fresh, sort of, new, almost new on the band at times. It's odd.
Weird, isn't it? We've come and gone a few times.
Yeah.
And we've had certain dips. And things have happened that you can't control.
Yeah.
Things have happened throughout our, we'll say, career.
Yeah.
That you can't plan for, and you never know what's going to happen. So some of the things that's happened to us, we've had no choice sometimes but to go quiet and step away and rethink things. And it seems like we've come back about 3 times throughout quite a short career. I think we've had more things happen in a 14. How long has it been? When did we start as Eva? 2004?
2004, yeah.
In a 14-year career, it's like we've packed 30 years into it.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like. It really does sometimes. Some of the stuff that's happened to us.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think my chest does it on the yeah, it's like kind of how it feels like we're constantly being in and out of people's consciousnesses.
Yeah, no.
Consciences.
Well,
brains. It's kind of nice to have that, actually.
Yeah.
Remind people that we're always around.
Yeah. Well, I think,
and we've managed to keep a fan base, really, really loyal fan base.
Yeah.
They always come and see us, and especially at Bloodstock as well.
As
long as you play fast songs.
As long as you play everything Brent the Grave.
Yeah.
We've been quite lucky, actually.
Yeah.
With that, we've been really lucky.
I don't think it's luck. I think you make your own luck in this game. I don't think it's necessarily luck. It's yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll say it's hard work on your behalf. Don't worry, you don't have
to. We've put a bit of effort in.
Yeah.
We do. We try.
Yeah.
We do try.
Cool.
Do what we live on.
Yes.
Yes. And to be fair, I haven't heard anyone say a bad word about you either. As well, you're well liked in the community as well. So you know that helps. It all helps. Okay, guys. Well, cheers for talking to us. Anyway, it's nice to have a catch up with you. And we'll look forward to hearing the new album. No timescales on it yet. I'm assuming just next year, is it?
2019 is the year of Evil.
Yeah. Excellent. Cool. Well, I'll start sowing a few seeds to try and get you on at Bloodstock 2019 as well. Then how's that?
Yes. Yes, that would be good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Here's the fiver again.
Okay, cheers for signing to us, guys. And I'm going to play out on my favourite Eval song, which is Head of the Demon, if that's okay. So just introduce that for us, Matt. That'd be very nice of you.
This is Head of the Demon by the popular rock outfit Evil. Good evening.
Hey, this is Paul Mazurkowitz, the drummer from Cannibal Corpse, and we will see you, all you rabid fans, at the Bloodstock Festival this summer. Be there.
Okay, so that was the guys from Evil. Thanks to them for that chat and for putting on an awesome show last Saturday. We're heading back to our Metal to the Masses winners now. The next two finals are in Carlisle this Saturday night, that's the 19th, and Norwich a week tonight, that's Thursday the 24th, so get along to those if you can. But we're going to finish off tonight's show by telling you about the winners from Glasgow and Belfast, and we'll be back next week on Bloodstock Radio.
And now on Bloodstock Radio, a Bloodstock Metal to the Masses tour update.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we're having a catch-up with the Metal to the Masses winners from Glasgow. It's Ollie from A Ritual Spirit. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thanks.
Excellent, cool. Is it sunk in yet, or are you still in shock a little
bit? I think we're still in a little bit of shock, yeah. It's taken a few days to get over it.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. And actually, I was supposed to be going up to Glasgow. It's Freddie's birthday as well, and he's, he invited a few of us to go up there, and I was supposed to be helping out with the judging panel and that, but wasn't to be in the end. But it looked like a really good night at Ivory Blacks, yeah?
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah, it was an absolutely incredible night. All the bands were amazing, and obviously the organisers, everything's just fantastic there. It's just a pleasure to be a part of, really.
Okay, so tell us a bit about Ritual Spirit. What type of music do you play, and how long have you guys been going for, and stuff like that?
Well, we try not to put ourselves into a genre too much. We just kind of go with heavy rock, really, but there's definite metal influences there, a bit of grunge. Where we started in, late 2009, early 2010, myself and Stevie and, the original bass player, we were in a band before, and that fell apart, and we started this band. So, yeah, we started gigging early 2011, and just kept going from there, really.
Yeah. And have you taken part in Metal to the Masses before?
Yeah, we were in it last year. We reached the semi-finals last year, and yeah, we went out in the semis, unfortunately. But yeah, gone all the way this year.
Yeah, all good. So obviously you came back and you had another go at it again, though. So was that basically, did you find it a good learning curve?
Definitely. It's just such a sincere competition. It's not a typical battle of the bands at all. It's just done so well. The way it's put together, the way they nurture bands, and yeah, it's just a fantastic thing to be a part of. So yeah, we thought we'd come back this year and try it again, and yeah, like I say, we've gone all the way.
Have any of you guys been down to Bloodstock before, or been down for it as punters or anything?
I've not myself, no. I can't speak for the rest of my band. Dave, our drummer, may well have been down before. I know a lot of people that have been, and everyone has so much praise for the festival. It sounds like a great place to be, and a great thing to be a part of,
Yeah, well, you're following in the footsteps of some absolutely cracking bands. Certainly some of my favourites over the last few years, the likes of Dogtired and Black and Ritual, and they're bands that I absolutely love. Usually bring a few people down with them as well, so I should imagine you've got quite a few that you're coming down with, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. We've got a whole lot of folk asking us about tickets and everything else now, so yeah, we're bringing the crowd down.
Cool, excellent, good. Well, we look forward to seeing you there, and I hope it goes well. So, obviously, the reason behind this is to sort of get you out there and to play you to the Bloodstock listeners, so that they get an idea of, when they see your name on the list, they're just like, I remember them; they were quite good. So, so tell us why the Bloodstock punters should take time out of their festival weekend to come and see A Ritual Spirit. What can you offer?
To be honest, I think we're a little bit different. I think that might be why we went through ultimately. We're not a typical metal band at all. There's definitely metal elements there, but we're a little bit more grungy probably than anything else, if that's your thing. Yeah, I think we might stand out a little bit from other bands on the bill.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. Cool. Well, we'll have a listen to one of your songs. So, you can introduce that for us. And thanks for talking to us, and congratulations, mate.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, Scott. This is The Way I Died from A Ritual Spirit.
watching pantomime, body shaking, just try to hold your mind. Heart rate is searing, voices all around you cry. Fear is leaving, but it's always by your side. Is that the sound of another life crashing in? Is this the voice of the fear that's creeping in? Was that the sound of another life crashing in? Is this the voice of the fear that's creeping in? Push hard and make it, aim, pull and get it right. Why's deceiving? You say just to survive. Get up, stop screaming. Fire again, don't close your eyes. Am I dreaming? Will this be the way I die? Is that the sound of another life crashing in? Is this the voice of the fear that's creeping in? Was that the sound of another life crashing in? Is this the voice of the fear that's creeping in?
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we are having the next of our Metal to the Masses winners on, and it's Jason from Oracle who won over in Belfast last weekend. How you doing?
I'm not too bad. Still trying to take it all in, but it's pretty great.
Well, cool. That's the way that most of our winners sort of respond for a bit. It doesn't you're really thinking until you're driving into Bloodstock a lot of the time.
Yeah, no, it's a lot to take in. It's obviously a massive opportunity, and we're grateful that we've been picked for it, and we just want to do as much as we can with it as well.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you guys will do. I mean, we always we always try to help out bands. I was chatting to 10 Ton Slug at the weekend that won in Play 2016. Yeah. A big Irish invasion that year came over, and they absolutely maximised. You know, they got all sorts of merch. They brought over all sorts of advertising stuff to tell people when they were on and what time they were on in the tent and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, so some bands really do sort of go that extra sort of mile to make sure that people know when they're on and what they're doing and stuff like that. So yeah, I would definitely advise you to have a go at doing that.
Yeah, well, 100%. 10 Slug. Our guitar player Connor is actually good friends with them as well. He lived down in Connemara with them, so we have their help too, obviously. And the likes of the Crawling were over in the same year.
Yeah.
We're good friends with them as well. So yeah, just maximize it as much as we can, obviously.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about Oracle then. How long have you guys been going for, and what type of music do you play and stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. So we've been going about 3 years now. We are a groove metal band is probably the easiest way to describe it. There's elements of like hardcore and slam and maybe like a tiny little bit of death metal in there as well. So it does sort of vary, but the main genre would be groove metal. We sort of got together because myself and the two guitar players, we went to Belfast Met and did a music course there. The time I was in another band called Paradigm, who are no longer together, sorry. But we just sort of formed the two together. We went through a couple of drummers from there. We ended up entering Metal to the Masses last year. We made it to the final, and it was at that point that we sort of realised that we could maybe try and do something more with it than what we had sort of previously thought that we could.
I always like to hear that bands come back, because you do get some bands that are just like, we didn't get through, that's it, we're not doing it again and that lot. But obviously you saw enough benefit in what you'd done the first time round to sort of see that you could, get something more out of it, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, whenever we entered it last year, we at that point hadn't had many gigs, so it was more along the lines of maybe entering and just seeing how far we could go and maybe trying to pick up a bit of a following from there. We never expected to get to the final from it, but from getting there, I mean, James Loveday from the Distortion Project, he gave us more gigs out of it. We got gigs with other promoters and people around Belfast with different bands. We made a lot of the good friends that we have now as well. And then we just entered it this year with the intention of winning it, and obviously that paid off, so it's definitely worthwhile doing.
Yeah, James gets a lot of mentions from the Irish contingent, and that he seems to be one of the good guys in metal. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. Like, I mean, he'll give anybody a chance. I mean, I think that's probably the best. Well, I mean, in my opinion, one of the best things about him is it doesn't matter if you haven't had a gig before. A lot of promoters want you to have had gigging experience, but whenever you're starting out, obviously that's not really possible all of the time. Whereas James he'll have a listen to you. If he thinks you're good, he'll put you on and then give you more gigs out of it as well.
Excellent.
As long as you have the work ethic there, he'll help you out.
Oh, cool. Excellent. That's what we want. And that definitely fits in with the Metal to the Masses idea as well, helping out the grassroots and that lot. So cool. Cool. So, well, we're looking forward to seeing you. Have you guys been over to Bloodstock before, any of you?
I haven't personally. Jake, one of our other guitar players, he went last year. He was there seeing Shrouded, who were last year's winners.
Yeah.
Obviously the other ones as well, but he had a really good time. Like, I mean, I think we were all planning to go to Bloodstock this year anyway, obviously because of Gushier and Devil Driver and the other big ones that we're playing. But we just sort of we didn't buy our tickets because we didn't know how Metal to the Masses was going to go first.
Yeah,
so
there's a few bands do that, as it goes on the sort of delay. They're always in that dilemma whether to buy them or not, because does it show that I'm being overconfident? Does it show that I'm fake? Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you don't have to buy your tickets now anyway. And you're going to be bringing quite a few people over with you, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got quite a few people coming over with us. There was actually a guy, Stuart, on Friday as well that travels about with Simon. He actually won a ticket to Bloodstock in the raffle, and he's given it to us. So if you keep an eye on the Facebook page, we'll be doing a giveaway at some point. So thanks to him for that as well.
Oh, that's amazing. That'll be Stuart Jessup. He goes everywhere. He's I think he did Belfast and Dublin. He was at Reading, and I think he's maybe doing Norway as well. He's a massive supporter of the Metal to the Masses. So that's a fantastic gesture for him to give away a Bloodstock ticket, really.
Yeah, he seems pretty well travelled. He's a nice guy, like.
Yeah,
definitely.
He's definitely that. Oh, that's great. Oh, cheers for telling us about that.
Yeah, like I said, just keep an eye on the page, and we'll be doing a giveaway shortly. And thanks again to Stuart for that one as well.
Just to finish off, then, before we hear some of your music, then just give us a brief overview. What do Oracle bring to the table? Why should our Bloodstock goers give some time to you over the weekend and go and see you guys in the New Blood tent?
People should come see us because we bring a lot of energy and passion to our sets. We will make you headbang. and hopefully a mosh pit as well. If that's probably the easiest way to put it. From what people said, you'll have a good time. So,
yeah, excellent, cool. Well, we look forward to seeing you in August, sir. You can go and sit and be dazed for a couple more months now, and then, then the reality will kick in again, and it'll all be over.
Probably afterwards as well.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, well, we'll play one of your songs, so if you can introduce that for us, and cheers for talking to us, and congratulations.
Yeah, happy days, thank you. So this is No God Waits For You off our EP Tales of Pythia.
The winner is Oracle.
By the fans, for the fans. Bloodstock Radio.